All right, so welcome back to the Racexotics podcast. Today we are here, and actually I wanted to ask you how you pronounce your last name.
Schnatter.
Schnatter.
Yeah.
And for the viewers, I met him yesterday, and I actually enjoy these ones because they feel authentic. I'm actually getting to learn about you. Well, the viewers are also getting to learn about you. So yeah, that was one of the things. And I even called and asked Brandon and Isaac. Isaac's watches your stuff, and
Yeah.
and he's like, well, check out a couple of his videos. And so I pulled up some of your videos, and you don't say how to say your name. So
Yeah,
I was like, I'll just ask him.
Yeah, I never pronounce it. I just say this is like I say Jake or something, if I'm talking third person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on the channel, and we're excited to get to know you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
So one of my first questions is, how did you, there's a deer right there.
Yeah, I see it.
That's a young one too. Well, I'd like to thank the sponsor for today's episode. That's Rev Up Energy. They've been a sponsor of our rallies. They've come on our rallies. Brittany and Brandon and Hunter, they're amazing family-owned and operated business. I highly recommend, if you have not tried a Rev Up Energy, to give them a try. You won't be disappointed. Still got the spots.
Yeah.
So one of the first questions I have is, how did this start? Like, you have a huge following, it's impressive. And there's some misconception that you have to kind of be in the middle of LA or Miami to have a successful car channel, but I think you're proof that you don't need that.
Yeah, no, my whole thing, so basically I started doing, oh, that's the mic, that's the camera up top making that wind noise. I was like, what is that?
Oh.
I heard the whistling.
Oh yeah, I hear it too now.
Yeah, so basically I started doing content after, during high school. So I tore my meniscus during a track event. So I powered through it for the whole season. And then after the season was over, I got surgery and I was bedridden for like a week. And that was when TikTok started becoming a big thing. And I made this one video where I threw money into a sink and been like, I was like, how does school spend money on sports? And I did tennis, and then golf, and then football. I dumped all of the money into the sink, and that video got like 10 million views.
Wow.
And I started doing a bunch of relatable content, and I got like 100,000 views like that, 100,000 followers like that. And basically did that. I got bullied in high school for being a TikTok kid, so I stopped.
Really?
Yeah, so I stopped for like a year and a half, and I just kept working. I just did multiple jobs, was in college too, and I was able to afford a nice car, an Audi S4. And I was like, you know what? I spent so much money on this car and nobody local sees it unless at car shows. So I thought, let's just do content on it. People are doing it, people are making an income from it, and it would support the car. And I just started doing it, and sadly I couldn't post that often because I was also working, because cars are expensive.
Totally.
And then kept moving up jobs, did serving and construction, and I worked at a moving company. Slowly started building up my resume at serving places until I got to a high-end spot. And then I started making enough money at that at nights that I could only do that. And during the day, I just kept making videos. And my big jump, I was pretty consistent on videos and just posting every day, and that helped a lot. But my big jump was I put Christmas lights on my BMW M4 one year, and it went crazy viral. I was like in the news in Sweden or something.
Really?
Yeah, it was super funny.
And what year would this have been?
This would be 2020, so we're in 2025. So that was 2023.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2023, and that jumped me like 100,000 followers on TikTok, which got me like to 300,000, I think, at the time. And after that, I made like $16,000 that month from my serving job and social media combined. That one video wrapping my car in Christmas lights on TikTok made me $8,000. And I was like, wow, this is life-changing money.
Yeah.
So
and how do you not lean into it more when you see that?
Because I still was making $10K a month from serving.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, all right, this is a viral video. I didn't necessarily think it was a fluke, but I didn't think that it would always happen. Right. I didn't want to assume that. So I still worked a lot, but I still devoted every single second of my time into content more. So I started posting 3 times a day instead of 1 time a day. and all that. And then one thing led to another. I kept making big goals for myself the following year. And, okay, then we keep going. Next one?
Yeah.
Okay. I kept making big goals for myself the following year. I got my Mark V Supra and my house, and I had a goal to get this car, my Huracan. And there was a bet I made with my coworker at the time. He's a bartender, and I said, one day I'm gonna make it big on social media, and I'm gonna come to work in a Lamborghini. And he said, you won't be working here when you still have a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I was like, you want to bet? And we bet on it. And so right after I got this car and drove it home from SEMA, I showed up to work in this and quit my job.
How cool is that?
Really cool. But
I mean, like, it's so symbolic.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. Like, you were both right.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when you have a Lamborghini, you ain't working here anymore.
Yeah.
And, like, so he was right, but you were too, because you stayed true to that until you had the car. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's also, if you're at a serving job and all the servers know you have a Lamborghini, but you're still working there, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So,
I could see them, maybe some animosity or, like, giving you, like, shit behind closed doors or...
Yeah. And I mean, I'm used to that because when you make videos, people are always going to talk.
Yeah.
But I didn't need to be in that environment anymore. So I wanted to stay true to my bet.
Right.
Keep my end, and then I gave in my 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't believe that you need to live in LA to make it big on social media. And I tell people that all the time.
I think you're proof that you don't.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you can't make good videos on your own and you have to rely on other people, you won't have longevity. You might last a little bit, but if you have to rely on other people, like other collaborations,
right,
locations and stuff like that, and you can't just make a viral video in your garage.
Right.
When you think about it, you won't last.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had to make it in the middle of nowhere, like make it work. I don't think I made it, but I had to make it work where I live. And also I love where I live. Like it's the middle of nowhere and 20 minutes any direction. I'm in a beautiful spot and there's no traffic. So and it's safe and it's perfect to start a family one day with my wife. So.
Totally. No, and what you said is true, right? Like if you can't make it on your own. When I started this brand Racexotics, I was very dependent and it was lack of confidence. I'm older, so I don't really have the like, when you say you're getting made fun of, I'm surprised to hear that because I would have thought your generation was so immersed in the social media thing that they would embrace it, right?
Well, people embrace it, sure, yes. But where I lived, like I live in Idaho, right? There, it's all blue collar workers and all that stuff. They aren't used to influencers. So I got made fun of in a local standpoint, but sure, in the broader standpoint, like people that watch my videos, I got a lot of support.
Right.
But face to face, talking crap is a lot harder on you than social media stuff. Like comments, I don't care about, but in person kind of stuff, especially from like peers, it's a little bit harder, you know?
Right. No, that makes sense. 100%. I never thought about it like that. Like where you're at changes how it's perceived.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of and we're a little bit out of town, as you can see from this route. We're not in the middle of Seattle.
Yeah.
But we're like just close enough that when I kind of told people what I was doing, it wasn't super weird to them. Yeah. But it was like a self-conscious thing in myself, right?
Right.
Because I'm older. I'm 38. And so as a 38-year-old, I kind of like saw the younger generation that would have been your age doing it. And I'm like, because I was kind of blue collar growing up, right?
Yeah.
Like I was a roofing contractor. I still am technically, and so I was like, oh, that social media thing, right? So I was kind of probably, I mean, I never gave people a hard time. I wasn't a bully about it, but like I thought about it that way.
Yeah, like some light joking or stuff.
Right. And so I can understand where you're coming from because I would have probably been on the flip side of that. And so it was a big thing for me to get over. And so I depended on other people for our content a ton. So I totally get that. If you can't do it on your own, it's probably not the game for you, right?
Right. Because you have to be creative. You know, you can't rely on other people. You can't be like, hey, Joe, go do this real quick. It'd be funny for the video.
Right.
Or what do you think would be good for the video? You got to already have an idea in your head of what could do well.
Yeah.
You know? And I think also, I was thinking about that this weekend. In my mind, like I'm always thinking of ideas, like when I'm driving and stuff. and I have a notebook, and I'll write down ideas every time I think of a video. And the other thing too is I feel like when I watch one of my videos, I almost get addicted to my own videos.
Really?
And whenever I have that happen, I know that video is going to do 200, 300, 400,000 views.
Now, when you say that, do you mean while you're editing?
So like I'll edit it, and I'll watch the final product, and I could watch the final product 3-4 times and not even like be like, oh wow,
that's awesome.
This is the 4th time I've watched it. I'm like, that's a good one.
That's awesome.
So I feel like I'm also kind of wired that way, and I think it's just from over time and years of consuming content, because I watch so many people,
And is that something where you get a lot of content? I struggle with that. I'm such a busybody person. I have a hard time just sitting down. And I think it's part of our generation. We're like bred and like we're reprogrammed to just swipe through reels and short form content.
Yeah.
I have a hard time watching like YouTube videos. I don't have the attention span for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of my favorite people, like I was telling you, me and Brandon Washus are good friends. I don't even watch his videos.
Right.
Like, I love his content. I just don't have the attention span for it. And so is that something that you are good at? And is that where you get a lot of your ideas? Or do you just think this stuff on your own?
So a big thing that I love watching long form. I love watching short form. I think another thing that's beneficial is I enjoy watching I enjoy watching people make content that's similar to mine. So I think that's beneficial to me because I'm consuming the same stuff that I want to recreate.
Right.
As far as ideas are concerned, a lot of my more viral videos are mashups of other people's ideas, but I do a different spin on it.
Right.
Like my most viral video of throwing the money in the sink, the original trends at the time were people were dumping money into it, dumping water into a sink, and the sink would slowly get fuller and fuller. But I just did it with money instead because I thought it'd be funnier and a different spin on it.
Right.
And that's what made it go viral, in my opinion, was if I did water, it would have done well, but I did money instead. So I do different little spins on it.
Right. And I love that about social media, right? Like we're all bringing our own personality to the trends. The trends, some of them are annoying, but I actually love the trend thing because it's like what you just said. You're bringing your personality into it, which is a neat dynamic of expressing yourself.
Right.
No, I can relate to that. Like my car, my Noble I'm building, like I looked at like what Koenigsegg, the first year that Brandon invited me out to watch a Koenigsegg's and do the little thing with them, I kind of fell in love with that rear wing, active aero, rear brake thing, right? Well, then I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
And so I came home, went to the drawing board. It took me about a year between work and like, I don't just work on it straight through, unfortunately. But I built this active rear wing and it was my version. And it was similar to what you said. It's seeing what somebody else did and then making your own version of it.
Yeah. It's like art is imitation is like, I think how the saying goes or whatever. And
it's imitation is the biggest form of flattery, I think.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. And like everybody just, if you build off other people and you can learn to do that, it's honestly another really good tool to have in your back pocket.
For sure. So then I've noticed, because I clipped through a couple of your videos and it looks like you do a lot of stuff with your cars. So what would you say, like, if you had to give like a quick description of what your channel is, like what, I mean, I'm assuming you kind of jump all over the place.
I do.
But what is like what you enjoy doing? Like, is it car builds? Is it flipping cars? Is it like, what is because we all kind of have our own little thing, right?
Right. Yeah. I would say my big thing is literally just making cars look how I want them to look and having adventures with them, you know? It's basically modifying cars and having adventures. That's like everything in a nutshell, you know?
Right.
And then just having different experiences with each car. Like I just started my first rebuild on a G82 M4. Never done that before in my life. Never rebuilt a car ever. But I have the connections now and I know the people that have done it as well. So I feel confident enough to try it, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you do these kind of builds, is that an obstacle that like you said, you're out in the middle of nowhere? I'd have never been to your house. I don't know how out in the middle of nowhere you are. Do you have like shops that you can lean on that are that do that kind of stuff, or do you have to ship your cars, or do you just do it all at your house?
So typically I have a lot of shops. So I do a lot of stuff at my house, my own shop, my own lift.
Okay.
But for the twin turbo kit for this car, for example, I'm taking that over to Hurricane Motorsports and we're doing it there.
Is that close to you?
It's only like 25 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
Right. So when I say middle of nowhere, it's not like I have a crazy city with like an airport that's close. The airport is like 45 an hour away from my house.
Which is where I am as well.
Yeah. So I guess not the middle of nowhere, but for people that are used to the city life,
right?
I guess that's why I say that.
Yeah. And I'm definitely not a city guy.
Yeah.
I lived in Seattle for a little while and hated it. I hated the traffic. I hated literally just going to work, sitting in traffic. I hated all of it. So as you can tell by this drive, I obviously don't live in the city as well.
Yeah.
No,
it's beautiful here.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. If we had a little more time, we could have did some boating. It's my favorite activity to do in the Puget Sound.
Yeah.
I feel like you haven't really experienced the Puget Sound until you've done a level of boating, because there's so many like little harbors like this. Well, a lot of them have restaurants in them, so you can boat up to the restaurants, walk out of the boat up and eat food. And so I recommend next time you're in the area, give me a call and we can take the boat out. And there's so many little towns and harbors that like you can boat to different towns and stuff by boat.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know what route you came in, but if you went through the little downtown of Port Orchard, there's a marina right in front of it. So people boat to that every year. And then those little towns like that are all over. I mean, we boat up to Seafair every year. That's our favorite thing to do, boat up through the locks into Seafair. But yeah, next time you're in the area, like I said, let me know and we'll make that happen.
That sounds like
out
fun.
The boat.
I appreciate that. That'd be cool.
So what have been some of the biggest obstacles you've had while doing this?
I would say the biggest obstacles for me would just be, how do I put this, the algorithms, because they're always changing.
Right.
So I guess the biggest obstacle would be just getting used to the fact that 1 month you could make a good amount of money, but the next month you could be dead broke because a lot of apps will like cut your RPM in half. Not necessarily YouTube. YouTube's the one that's very consistent.
Is it?
Yeah, but TikTok and Instagram are very inconsistent. There was 1 month where I made $6,000 on Instagram and I got like a combined 40 million views in that month. And then the next month I got 60 million views and I made $60.
Wow.
So it's like stuff like that. You can't rely on last month's income to be the same as this month's income, right? So that's probably the biggest obstacle, which kind of forced me into getting my email out there and letting other brands reach out to me so that I can promote their business, because honestly, brand deals is what keeps a lot of influencers alive.
Right.
So I would say the biggest obstacle is figuring out how to make consistent money so that I could quit my serving job, because that wasn't even over a year ago when I quit my job. I started doing this full time, so it's still fairly recent.
Yeah, and that's probably kind of a little scary too.
Right. Yeah.
Especially when you see months like that and they vary so much. It's like it's not a consistent, like, how do you plan for that?
Yeah.
Like, which makes you think like Stradman, you see somebody like him and he's got this big overhead like that Koenigsegg.
It's like $30,000
exactly a month, and it's like, man, if his is doing the same thing, 1 month he makes X amount, the next month he doesn't. Like, that's got to be scary too for somebody on all levels of that
such a big overhead
game. Yeah.
No, and that's probably the biggest thing. Is just kind of getting used to that level of like uncertainty, and having a lot of stuff in your back pocket to be like, all right, if this doesn't work, plan B will work. If plan B won't work, plan C will work,
Right.
You just gotta have a lot of backup plans and be willing to grind 1 week, because you know that if you don't do this week right, plans 2 months in advance from now, like 2 months from now, won't be able to happen because you don't have the income.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of it's a wake-up call a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
Like for somebody like me that's way newer in the game, or small or whatever. We started Racexotics like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's also been an obstacle for us, is like trying to find a consistent. That's actually how the rallies spawned.
Yeah.
I never planned on hosting rallies. I just had to like make this hobby pay for itself somehow, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's those are good points for sure. So like you said, you have to make content where you're at on your own. Do you see yourself ever, maybe not moving fully, but like almost what Jack Ultramotive did, moving somewhere part-time or any kind of, to where you're a little more in some of the different scenes, or are you just going to stick to what you're doing or stick to what you're good at? I guess I'm asking if a move is in your future.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a move's in my future at all.
Okay.
What I really like, and this is, what I really like seeing from other influencers is when they stay in a spot where they have snow, summer,
right,
and fall, you know, and spring, right? All these different like weather climates, you know, and then you drive those crazy cars in the snow and all that stuff. The only reason I see myself moving is to escape the winter, but if I escape the winter, that takes away a big thing about my videos.
Yeah.
Because I drive my cars all the time. So I don't see myself moving. I just don't think it's a very cost-effective thing either. If I want to go to LA or something, I'll just drive or like ship a car,
right,
you know? And luckily now I don't have a regular job on top of social media, so I can go ahead and go to LA for a week and spend time with my friend Finding Nick, or spend time with some other people, you know?
Right.
So if I needed to go out into a different scene for a week, like, I can make it happen and I don't have to uproot everything.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you do a lot of that, or are you planning on doing a lot of that stuff? Like what you were saying, ship cars, like SEMA, Monterey Car Week, like Daytona, like all these different events that are car oriented. Is that stuff that that you do currently or wanting to do, or?
It's something I've been doing. My biggest regret this year though was I went to Texas 2K and I didn't bring a car. One thing that I noticed with content is people follow you for you and your cars. The minute I hop in someone else's car and make a video, the retention and the views is half.
Really?
Because people want to see the car that I've built and that I'm enjoying and having fun with, because they know I'll go 100% with the car, floor it, do donuts with it, whatever it may be. And I also think that my confidence level when I'm filming with my car rather than someone else's car is way higher.
Right.
So I think it's more enjoyable for people to watch because they can see that through the video.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, basically to answer your question, I'm going to all those things. So I'm driving this car with a whole group of friends to Monterey Car Week. It's going to be like a 15-hour drive.
What way are you going? Because there's a big group of us going down as well.
We were planning to go along the coast.
Okay. Well, let us know when, and maybe we'll roll down there together.
That'd be cool. Yeah, we were going to go do that, and then my wife and I are going to go to Bimmer Invasion LA, and I'm getting my M4. It's a F82 M4, so it's an S55 engine. It's getting a new motor by 4N Motorsports, and it's going to be D-stroke from a 3-liter to a 2.6. So the regular S55 revs up to like 7,000 RPM, 7,200. The D-stroked engine will rev up to 9,000 RPM.
Wow.
And the turbo kit that 4N's putting on will have the car make around 750 wheel horsepower.
Wow.
So the plan is I'm dropping that off the beginning of August, and he's going to put the motor in, break in the motor, get all tuned and everything dialed. And then right before Bimmer Invasion LA in September, my wife and I are going to take my G82. We're going to drive to him, pick up that car, and then her and I are going to drive both our cars to Bimmer Invasion.
Wow.
So we do a lot of driving.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then last year in November for SEMA, I bought this car in Houston and drove it from Houston to SEMA.
Wow.
And then spent SEMA week with this car right after buying it, and then drove it home.
Yeah.
So I have this thing I do. I have a vision board, and I set goals for myself every year, like follower counts on like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that. And then I also have goals as far as cars, and I cross them off. Like people enjoy that because I speak it into existence, or at least try to.
Yeah.
And one of those goals on the vision board is an Aventador.
There you go.
I want an LP700.
That's the Aventador, like my dream Aventador, or sorry, my dream Lamborghini is a SV Roadster.
Yes.
Like it's the pinnacle of Lamborghini. A lot of people are like, oh, the Revuelto. I don't even, like, that does nothing. I'm not a hybrid guy at all.
No.
The SV Roadster Aventador is the pinnacle to me.
Yeah, and also in the Revuelto, it's not just hybrid, it's also DCT, so you lose that single clutch bang every time you shift and all that too.
Which might make them last longer.
Yeah.
We were down in, we were doing one of the last rallies we were on. We started in San Diego, and a friend of ours, he took his SV down there, and his tranny let go while we were down there.
Really?
In downtown San Diego, and it sounded like a construction zone. I'm like, where's this is like, it was like 10:30 at night. We're rolling through downtown San Diego, and it's like, clack, 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 like, and it was echoing off the buildings. And so I thought there was people like jackhammering out there. And no, it was our buddy Suhail's transmission let go. So
the yellow Aventador?
Yeah.
SV? Okay.
Yeah, with the silver rims.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite cars in the friend group for sure. The only way you could beat it in my mind is a Roadster.
Yes.
I'm a huge Roadster guy.
Well, the Roadsters also have, like, I think $100,000 more in value than the coupe. But
I just feel that way about Lamborghini specifically, which I am a fan of Roadsters. Like, I love my Lotus, like little Elise drop top. Like, I just love the Roadster thing, right?
Yeah.
But all growing up, like Miami Vice with who was that? Colin Farrell. They did that scene with the Diablo. I think it was a Diablo he was in, and the tops of his hair is blown in the wind. Like, then Exit Wounds with DMX. Like, he had that silver Diablo. Like, in my mind, a Lambo needs to be a Roadster.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And also, the nice thing about the Roadster too is it still keeps that coupe look. A lot of cars that are convertibles, the coupe looks a lot better than the convertible.
I agree.
Just because of like the styling, you know?
Right.
Like the back end just looks funky. Like with this car, for example, in my mind, the coupe looks way better than
agree.
the soft top.
The Gallardo looks better as a hard top for sure.
But the Roadster is a different story, right? Because it bolts on and it keeps very similar styling to what the coupe is like.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Well, and a lot of Ferraris are like that too. Well, maybe, it's an era, like the late 90s, early 2000s maybe. Because the Ferraris, the 360 and the 430, I don't like those as a Roadster at all.
Yeah.
But a 458 and a 488, I love those as a Roadster or a Spider, whatever you call it.
Yeah, the 570S also looks somewhat decent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So talking about different cars brings up another question. I've noticed, and other YouTubers, you have a variety of cars.
Right.
Do you notice any kind of drop in views or any interruption? Oh, it's a little Sunbeam Tiger. Those are super cool. They had a Ford 283 in them.
That's cool.
289, sorry. 283 is a Chevy motor. Yeah. No, it was a pretty hot deal. It came out in the early 60s, and that was a hot little car for the early 60s.
Huh.
But yeah, so my question, sorry I got off track.
No, you're fine.
Do you see a big difference in viewership when you maybe make content about one car, or do your fans appreciate whatever you're driving, whatever you're working on?
So I was talking to my friend about this because he said, why don't you get an RX-7? So I love a lot of different cars, and some of them I know would never do great on social media, or they would do fine.
Yeah.
Right? And my big thing is I get the cars that I can tell are starting to become really relevant. So I just got rid of my C6 Z06 and got a C7 Z06 because the C7 Z06 is starting to become attainable for like a certain generation of people. And the videos are like slowly starting to become like popping off. And I said, that's the next car. And I also love the C7 Z06. That's the next car I'm going to get. Got it. And it is doing numbers on top of also making me really happy because I love the car.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I tend to choose cars that I know will do well, so I don't see that drop in viewership because I don't want that.
Yeah.
Right? I want everything to stay consistent no matter what car I have. I told my friend that you can make great content and have a crappy car and still get good views. You can have a great car and crappy content and still get good views.
There's
but if you have both, nobody will forget you.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of like how I've always tried to be. Was I don't get cars that I would not be happy with, because then in my mind I'd probably make crappy content because I'm not happy with it.
Right.
So I still get cars that I love, but I also get cars that I know the masses love currently.
Right.
You know, like the Huracan, for example.
Oh, next one.
Next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Like the Huracan, for example, this is a car that people could see themselves like affording, right? But if I popped off and got an STO or something,
right,
it's less relatable too. And also, like, these cars are pretty, you know, everybody loves these cars, no matter if it's an STO or a Evo or,
right,
you know. But I had to drop a dealership with my C6, and even though the C6 Z06 is a great car for content, and I think the reason why was I bought that car already pretty much finished.
right.
I didn't do any motor work, didn't swap out intake, didn't do the cam myself, none of that. And I feel like since I didn't build it on the channel from stock, that kind of did hurt me a little bit.
Right. No, that makes sense. And that's cool that you're learning that. You know, how old are you?
24.
Man, that's crazy. You seem to have it pretty figured out for your age.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're like, what you're saying seems like wiser than your age, and I guess what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, and I also am like, I won't say that I have it figured out, because I'm going to meet somebody else that's more successful than me or better than me at a different aspect, and they're going to tell me something, and I'm going to listen to that and try and make that happen, you know? So I'm not stuck in my ways, but I have my current ways right now, and they're working, so I'm going to stick to them until someone says I should tweak it.
Totally.
You know? Like, I think being teachable is like one of the things that a lot of people lack that do content. They think, oh, I haven't figured out how I do it now, I'm not going to listen to anybody else, and that's what can hurt you.
Totally.
Like, you have to be teachable even if you're doing good for yourself.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's there's a lot said there. Well, we're getting close to our destination, so we can probably wrap this up. I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, is the most overrated car, and what is the most underrated car?
Oh, that's a tough question. I can't say the SVJ is overrated because I drove one in Germany for like 2 weeks and I love that car. I would say, give me a second here because that's tough. The most underrated car. It's not one that I've had. It has to be one that I've like driven. I would say probably a Turbo S. You know,
Okay.
I would say a Turbo S is probably like a more underrated sports car. Everybody loves it, not like the GT3 RS and all that,
Yeah.
but Turbo S's drive so good,
Right.
and they're so fast.
They're crazy fast.
They just kind of lack the looks. So I would say
Yeah.
that's a pretty like underrated car. I don't see a lot of them on social media.
Right.
So I would say that's like kind
I
of
would almost
underrated
say
one.
the Turbo S is like the gentleman's Porsche.
Yes, exactly.
Like, whereas the GT3 RS is like the young kid's Porsche.
Right, like you see a lot of doctors and stuff driving
Exactly.
Turbo S's. Nobody making content on them. No big
Right.
YouTubers. So I would say the Turbo S is probably like
Underrated.
I would say the C8 is overrated.
Okay.
Like the C8 Stingray. The
Yeah.
Z06, that deserves all the hype. It sounds great.
Yeah.
But I think so many people like hyped up the C8 and what it is, and it's not even, in my mind, a true Corvette because it doesn't have the front engine.
Right.
It doesn't come in manual or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I would say the C8 Stingray is probably like a overrated car for what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is actually my first podcast I ever did.
Is it?
Yeah, I've gotten asked to do a couple, but they're super far away.
Right.
And they wanted me to go out there for it, and I was like, I mean, if you can cover travel expenses, that's like super far, and like I can't make videos other than do the podcast,
Totally.
except for like the drive down. and they weren't really willing to do that. And I was like, okay, I can't make it out. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Well, in this podcast for me, this was created because, like I told you, I get those flight benefits, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, how can I take advantage of that?
And go to cool places and hang out
Go
with
to cool places, meet cool people, like, and do justice to that opportunity of the flights.
Yeah.
I was like, let's start a podcast.
Yeah.
And so this was very, like, off the cuff. We actually bought an F550, like, X ski bus. And then we were going to make the podcast in it because my original idea for the podcast was to give people a ride with their car behind the studio. We were going to build a studio. And I'm like, dude, this is so much more nimble. Like, I can hop on a plane with my backpack with my cameras and show up somewhere and shoot a podcast. So we'll go left here. Yeah. So, yeah, this was, what did you think of this? The style and format.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's definitely different. I don't see anybody else doing it like this, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else has their own studio and stuff.
Right.
And like you were saying, this allows you to be nimble and catch content creators that maybe you couldn't in a studio setting.
Exactly.
Right? There's my one friend that does Street Alpha podcast. I don't know if you've seen that one. He did a big podcast with Adam LZ.
Okay.
And anyway, he has a whole studio set up and everything. So it takes him a little bit to set it up, but he is mobile. He does go to different places.
Yeah.
But this is really awesome because you could call people, like, if you wanted to, for example, like Matt Armstrong in the UK.
Right.
You'd be like, hey, like, do you want to hop on a podcast? I'm like, man, I just don't have the time. Like, super busy. Like, listen, man, I can.
1 hour of your time.
1 hour. We'll hop in one of your cars and I just ask you questions.
Yeah.
That's such a good idea because you can catch so many people because everybody's super busy these days.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. And that's even with how nimble this is, like, we almost weren't able to make this happen.
Right.
Like, and even as nimble as it is. So, like, you're 100% spot on. Like, I've reached out to a ton of people and they all want to do it. And I was starting to kind of gauge interest when we were going to do it in the bus, right?
Yeah.
And getting people to, like, locations and their time. I mean, a lot of the people, especially in the exotic car world or the influencer world, are successful. They're busy. They have a ton going on. They're not just sitting on their couch all day.
Right.
Like, so what do you do? Like, so this is how we improvised that situation. So no, I'm glad to hear that it's that you enjoyed it. I mean,
yeah,
I enjoy it. I'm kind of a talker as it is.
Yeah.
I run into this where I start talking too much. I have to, like, internally tell myself to shut up and let the people that are coming on do the talking. But
yeah,
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really cool concept. Like I said, I don't see anyone else doing it. And if they are doing it, they're not necessarily doing it with the right people because I don't see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't think this would pencil out if I didn't have that ability to fly.
Right.
Because, like, think about it. If I had to fly somewhere and last minute, because planning far ahead with people that are busy is, like, impossible, right? They have lives. So it's really like, it's almost last minute, like, hey, I'm available, come out.
Yeah.
Well, last minute flights are like, it cost me $1,000 a podcast in flights, you know what I mean?
Right.
So the ability for me to be able to fly without paying that is a game changer. It makes this possible because without that, this isn't possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it just wouldn't work out. So it's cool to hear that you like it. And
yeah,
we're going to get maybe like 20 of them done before we start releasing any.
Really?
Yeah.
Just in case there's a week where there's like a month or something where you can't because you have your other jobs and stuff like that.
Well, that or we can't because a lot of it is, I'm not just doing it at home, right? Like, I'm not just BSing. The whole premise of this podcast is like meeting the person.
Yeah.
And so, like, if we don't have the ability to do that, that was kind of weird, huh? Just like ditches it for the curb. I'll have to go back to that upper camera and see what was going on there. But yeah, like, being able to do that, I just think, like, meeting people, I mean, like, what if I can't line up anything for a couple months at a time.
Right.
I want to be able to have like the consistency. Like you said, the consistency I think is huge, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
So right now we're just doing little teasers, like we're releasing little teaser clips.
Yeah. Have you done one with Damon yet?
No, so me and him are same thing. So his airport, I'm going to go up to Kelowna and do it.
Mm-hmm.
His airport, so I fly Alaska Airlines.
Yeah.
And they don't fly into Kelowna 7 days a week. And so we're trying to line our schedules up with the flight schedule. Because they only do like Friday, Saturday. They do some like weird like 3 or 4 days out of the week flight thing to where I'm trying to find a date where I can fly in, because I don't do same day either. So I'd have to fly in, stay the night, and fly back. So we're just trying to line our schedule up.
Yeah.
But worst case scenario, we'll probably shoot it when he comes down for the rally.
So is it just him, or is it him and Dave?
He said he's going to talk to Dave, but as of now, it's just Damon.
Yeah.
We haven't heard either way on Dave.
Yeah, because they do a funky schedule. Like, they both split off to divide and conquer and film 2 videos in the same day.
Right.
In 2 different locations, so that they can have like a day off the next day, you know, and stuff. So that makes sense. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool what they've built. I think that I was also thinking about that today. Was every influencer needs to have their own thing,
right,
to like stay relevant, right?
Totally.
Like, if I did the exact same thing DD did, it wouldn't make me special, right?
Exactly.
So I feel like my content brings in the personable, like, side of things,
right?
Where DD is like, you know, like a group of friends messing around kind of thing.
And I shot for that when I first started this brand, right? I mean, even within our name, you can hear it. Oh, there's a pilot guy. There's Chris right there.
Oh, sick.
Sorry for honking your horn.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
If I explained it to you, you'd be like, what am I doing? But that's the guy with the Aventador that built our website.
Oh, yeah, last night.
My lover.
Yeah.
For the flights. But yeah, so we just went to his funeral service.
Oh, wow, okay.
His dad just passed away.
Oh, no.
And so that's literally where I left from and then met you. That's why I was kind of like a little frazzled. I didn't have time to even eat lunch or anything. And so it was kind of a last minute, like, hurry. That's why when you called earlier, I wasn't able to.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just figured I was driving, and I hate texting and driving, so. But yeah, no, that's another thing too that I really liked about this podcast is you're almost in the same hot seat as someone that watches my videos that's never met me in person.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of a thing. So it's like you're asking the questions that a total stranger would ask you.
Yeah.
So
well, and I still, like, right now, I'm like, I feel bad for hitting your horn. Because, like, you are so, like, it almost feels like we're friends. I just met you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm still like, man, I can't believe I just pushed the guy's horn.
I don't care.
It was like a knee-jerk reaction. But that's part of that. You feel you're very personable. Yeah. Like, I felt comfortable enough to do. Like, I felt like I was rolling down the road with Isaac or Brandon or somebody. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with I wasn't like this when I grew up. I was homeschooled until 3rd grade. So I couldn't even, like, I was very shy, very, like, into sports and do school, and I actually was a band kid too. Okay. So I just, like, was very quiet, and then what really pushed me out of my comfort zone was the fact that I worked so much. And then when I started my serving job, I was forced to be personable, right? Because if I wasn't talking to the customers, or if I wasn't nice to them, or if I wasn't this or that, I wouldn't get a good tip, you know? And that's all. That's what it's all about. So for sure, definitely helped me a lot, and I think everybody should try and do at least one customer service job, if not serving. Right. Because that's what really helped me. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on and chatting with us, and I feel like I got to know a little bit more about you, especially like you were saying, from not ever knowing you. Yeah. It was pretty cool getting to know you. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me on. Yeah.